Hello and welcome back to Universe Sandbox 2. Yes, this is the first video since the 10,000 subscriber special if we don't count the Nerdcraft opening video. And thank you all for helping us hit that amazing goal. It really does mean a lot. But let's begin. So today we are going to be messing around with some high-speed collisions, really testing the physics in this game and just how far we can push it if any weirdness occurs, because back in old updates there was some weirdness when you went faster than light and stuff, which is to be expected because it's a game, it's not going to be perfect. Also, it doesn't really have the theory of relativity or anything, because, or I could be proven wrong there, but I don't think you'd really need to program that in for things this small. I know planets aren't exactly small, but things need to get pretty fast and big in scale for that to actually matter. But let's get started. We're going to just start with the light speed collision between two Earths and see how this turns out. So to do this, we're going to go to motion, pause, and set this to 1 light speed. We're going to slow this down a lot so that doesn't happen instantly. And we're actually still going very, very fast. Now, the speed of light is very fast, so that's not really surprising. But, do have to make it so that we don't instantly collide. We need to get it on video. I tend to have things set to ludicrous speeds, and then I miss the actual collision. Oh! Like I almost did right there. Okay, so here it is. Light speed collision between two words. Yes, that is my Steam. I'm going to shut that off in a second. Sorry about that. And we're going to have a collision in 3, 2, 1. Now, this is going at very, very slow. If you look here, we're going at about, well, that's 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000ths of a second now. 3 10,000ths of a second per second, which means that this is going much slower than real time. And let's see what happens. So the initial collision, we see a bit of debris being thrown out already. The heat generated by this has already hit 3,000 degrees for this Earth. Oh, 8,000. This Earth has hit 9,000 now. Same with this. So even from the initial contact, the heat is already going much higher than a normal collision. And let's see how far that goes. This Earth, it's actually kind of just stuck, actually. So much force has been pushed onto this Earth. They're basically just traveling together now, but they're still somewhat colliding, while moving extremely quickly. So let's speed this up a little bit so that we can see that. So here's the collision. We can see all of the shockwaves and explosions going on. There is a lot of energy in this collision. So it's actually heating up even at this point. And at the end, we have almost hit 9,000 degrees. The planet itself is actually slightly vaporizing. As you can see, it's letting out gas, and it's becoming blue hot. Or white hot. Yeah, it's white hot now. And it's going to take a long time for this to cool down, so let's speed up time. And what we should see is it go back down, and bam, Earth. Now, what are the effects of this? Will we see a giant crater, or will it just look like normal Earth after that? From this, I can already see a bunch of crater marks, so I'm going to go towards the first option there. And it's all water. Okay, that's because two Earths hit each other. That's a lot of water. I'm gonna turn that down, and what we can see... Oh, what the heck, man? Don't run away. Oh, I can't... Oh, this isn't good. I just realized that's a problem. It's going at light speed, so I can't go into camera view mode without it, like, flying away. So here we go. We'll just do this while it's paused. So we have the planet, which I actually can't move towards. This is actually really glitchy. There we go. Oh, geez, it's moving in pause mode. I've been, like, pushed really far away. Can we get back here? Okay, so yeah, things are starting to get pretty odd. But Earth isn't recognizable in any way. I don't think I see one landform that was there in the past. Completely new continents. Everything's gone. That's to be expected with a collision of this magnitude. Yeah, the chances of something being left were really slim. So now we're going to try something different. We're going to try throwing Earth into a bigger planet and see the amount of damage it does. Can we get all of the gas on Jupiter to vaporize by basically having Earth hit it at the speed of light? So first off, we're going to slow things down quite a bit. We're going to go down to the milliseconds per seconds. Pause this, go to Earth, go to our motion, and turn the velocity up to 1 light speed. And now we should see, yep, we do have movement. We can turn off trails and labels. And let's just speed this up a little bit. We are nearing Jupiter. And here we go. We are within... The crazy thing to think is this only took minutes to cross hundreds of thousands of kilometers. The light speed truly is incomprehensibly fast. It's crazy. If we could actually make something that moved light speed, even though it would still take thousands of years to do things like crossing galaxies, it would still be such an enormous feat. It's just pretty incredible how fast light travels. But here we go, Earth traveling at the speed of light. You basically could miss this by blinking if we were going at real time. So make sure you don't miss this. Don't blink in case I accidentally speed it up. And we're about to have impact in 3, 2, boom. I know I skipped to 1, but I didn't have enough time. So Earth is actually getting eaten by Jupiter before there's even an explosion. Now we see the explosion begin, and Jupiter has hit 27,000 degrees. Now, on a scale from hot to very hot to stupid hot, that one's insanely stupidly hot. The entire planet may actually vaporize from this. I don't even think the densest solids of Jupiter are going to survive this kind of heat. As you can see, Jupiter is shrinking rapidly. Well, you can't really see it yet here, but if you look at the kilometer, the radius right here. But the heat is now spreading throughout Jupiter, and we can now see that the entirety of the planet is becoming, well, glowing. But it is still shooting out all of this mass. And remember, we're going at, now we're going at minutes per second, but this is happening very quickly. Now, we're getting to the point where this is in a matter of months now, not minutes. But Jupiter is shrinking down, and it's not cooling down. It's actually so hot that it's having trouble getting rid of the heat. I mean, technically it is expelling heat in the form of just throwing the hot matter away, but the innards of Jupiter are still having trouble cooling down. And let's speed this up even more. Now we're going days per second, so it would take a few years for Jupiter to completely vaporize itself, and we can now see that surface temperature is starting to drop. But the mass of Jupiter is dropping rapidly. It's only 50 times the size of Earth now, and that's speeding up actually. 30 times the size of Earth, 20, 10. Well, I guess speeding up as a percentage of the total mass probably was going about the same total speed before. We can now see this giant cloud. It's almost like the remains of a supernova left over by Jupiter. And after these cool down, they would probably actually form their own new planets, or planet singular, from whatever was left of Jupiter. Actually, most likely what would happen is Jupiter's moons would pick all of this up and then probably collide with each other because of Jupiter losing hold on them. Then whatever's left from that would probably become a planet. But let's let this continue shrinking down. Now we're at only 5 Earths. And if we go to a week per second, we've just hit the point where Jupiter pretty much doesn't exist anymore. It's pretty much negligible at this point, and it's gotten to the point where it's expelling the gas, but it's kind of clumping back in at the same rate. So I don't think Jupiter... Oh, never mind, it is shrinking more. And there it goes. That's it. Jupiter has went from being the biggest planet to being non-existent. But what about the sun? We have not tested shooting the Earth at the sun at the speed of light. Yes, this is one thing I've done before. I have a video which is named literally throwing Earth at the sun at the speed of light. But it's still questionable because so many physics updates have occurred in this game that there's no real way to know what's going to happen. So we're going to pause this, go to Earth, well, not slow it down, very much speed it up, and we're going to slow down the game's speed down to milliseconds per second or something extremely small. There we go. And now let's watch the slow collision, which is actually quite fast, of the Earth and the Sun, which are now visibly moving towards each other. Of course, this is slightly faster than the speed of light because both the Sun and Earth will gain speed from gravity, so they are breaking the laws of physics technically, but hey, it's just a game. Or hey, it's just a theory, a game oh god, that's probably copyrighted. I'm joking, it probably isn't, but still. Oh my god, Earth is going to miss. The velocity must not have been completely straight when I increased it, so we're just gonna move the sun slightly to make sure that this does hit directly. And here we go. Earth, have a fun time because you're going to take down pretty much what's given you life. Well, not you life, but everything on you life. Really depends how you interpret that sentence. And we have hit. Now, the sun has just became a blue star instantly because of the increase in... Oh, jeez, I need to figure out what the normal temperature is. 24,803 degrees Kelvin here, and what is it normally? We're just gonna put this over here, then quickly delete it. Ah, 5,775. So we've over oh, well, I'd even say quintupled the heat of the sun, which has sent it into blue star mode. And then we have Earth isn't even completely in it yet, so boom, there we go. We can see a little mark that left, that red mark right there on the sun's surface, and things are gonna have to speed up a bit for us to actually see any changes here. Oh, I'm accidentally going slower instead of faster. Well, that's something. Here we go. Now we're speeding things up. And if we wait a little bit, it'll get to the point where we can see, yep, we actually created a shockwave on the sun. And even a shockwave this small is pretty impressive considering it's the freaking sun. It's pretty large, meaning that this shockwave is a number of times larger than Earth, and it's still growing quickly. This shockwave may actually go around the entire sun. So far it's traveled probably a 10th or 15th of the way, but that is actually speeding up, and it may actually go all the way over. Not as strong as here, but no, that's crazy to think that the Earth, just because of the sheer speed it was going, not only is it giving it a shockwave, turn it into a blue star from the temperature, but it's also given the sun a bit of a spin. And considering we're going hours per second, this is a pretty fast spin. Now the shockwave is hit about halfway across the sun. I don't even know if we can call it the sun anymore. And it's going to go completely around the sun, which is now rotating in a very weird, lopsided way because the Earth did not hit it straight on. But let's see if anything else changes. Now looking at this, we are still at 27,000 degrees. Will that go down over time, or have we basically baked every single planet in our solar system by doing this? So if we go to years for a second, that temperature does not seem to be changing. Heck, going hundreds of years per second, thousands of years per second. No, we have permanently changed the sun. Whether for better or worse, it's worse. Let me just give you a little warning. So that's one way to create a blue star, using a very insignificant amount of mass. And I think we're going to do one more collision because, you know, collisions. And we're going to go new, and we're going to do two stars just crashing into each other. We're just going to use the sun for this. We can do more crazy stuff with speeds, velocities in another episode if you guys want. But here we go, two suns, and we're just going to go to the motion here. They're already building up quite a bit of velocity considering it's only been a few seconds. Well, I guess in game it's been a few hours. Oh shoot, we don't want to do that yet. We have to pause first, turn off trails and labels, click it, go to this, and do one light speed. And we're actually going to make both of them go a light speed. So why the heck not? So, this is going to hit in, well, we're gonna slow this down quite a bit, believe me. If we don't, it'll be over before we even see what happened. And here we go. Going slowly enough so that we can see them actually hit, and fast enough that it's not a turtle speed, but currently we are going turtle speed, so let's speed it up a little bit. And here we go. Getting closer and closer. So something to keep in mind is that this is actually, because they're both going in different directions at the speed of light, the impact will actually have the force of 2 light speeds, which if you think of it is actually physically possible. Well, yeah, because even though you can't hit exactly light speed, if you went slightly under it in both directions, then crashed directly into each other, you still would get the force of over 1 light speed collision. Because that's how it works. And now it's a very bright, and I can't see much, but we're going to try to see what happens here. So we have a collision. An instant supernova. It did not wait at all. And the supernova is actually moving, first off. It's moving quite slowly. It's a type 1A. And it's expanding actually at a pretty normal speed for a supernova. So I don't think that actually changed much about it, sadly. But overall, it's a supernova, you know, can't complain. I'm not 100% sure if there's 2 different supernovas, one for each star here, but who knows? Well, other than the game probably knows. And this supernova will last for thousands and thousands and, thousands of years. That actually ended up to be pretty much millions. Oh, there's a few gas clouds left over. They're just mostly see-through at this point. Okay guys, so that's it for this episode of Universe Sandbox 2. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment something below. If you say something that catches my attention, I may pin it, and then you will get really insignificant likes on your comments because those don't actually count towards anything, but they're cool anyways. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.